Welcome to my channel. Myself SB sir. Today we will study the text Tom loses a tooth. Tom loses a tooth. It is written by Mark Twain, American writer. Actually, this is an extract taken from The Adventure of Tom Sawyer. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. It is the childhood pranks of a young boy. The book deals with the childhood pranks, naughtiness of a young boy named Tom. Here, Tom loses a tooth is an episode. It is an extract taken from The Adventure of Tom Sawyer. Here we can find that Tom is a boy, school-going boy. He is finding excuses, that means false evidences to bunk school, that means to avoid school. That means Tom does not want to go to school, so he finds again and again some excuses, that means false evidences, so that he may remain home and he does not have to go to school. So now read. Tom always found Monday mornings to be miserable. Tom always found Monday mornings to be miserable. All the Monday mornings, that means Monday comes after Sunday. Sunday generally is a holiday. So total day is a holiday for the school goers, and Tom as a student, he has also holiday on Sunday. So after Sunday, after the gap of a day, when the Monday comes, especially in the morning, most of us do not want to go school again. We feel some laziness. Here Tom also feels that miserable means painful or sorrowful. Monday began another week's slow suffering in school. Monday means another slow suffering in the school. That means Tom does not enjoy his school. School is a painful thing. Schooling is a painful thing to him. So he does not love school. He does not like school. So he always wants to avoid school. Tom lay thinking. Lay. That means he is still in his bed and he is thinking. He is thinking to find out some excuses so that he will not have to go to school. Present he wished that he was sick. He wished that he pretended that he is sick. Then he could stay home from school. Then if he is sick, he will not go to school. He investigated his body. So he searched. Investigated means searched his body from here, then another part. Or if there is any problem, any sickness or ailment, to find any problem, sickness or ailment or pain in any part of his body. Hope of finding some ailment. Ailment means sickness. So he thought that he had found symptoms of stomach trouble. So after searching, at first he found some symptoms of stomach trouble. Symptoms means indications of stomach, means belly, relating to belly trouble. He has some trouble in the belly. It's a very common problem also for the students to avoid school. He began to grow hopeful. So when he found that there is a pain in his stomach, he became hopeful. However, the symptoms soon grew feeble. Feeble means weak, and wholly went away and vanished after some time. So there was no problem of a pain in his belly or stomach. Tom thought further. Further means more. Then Tom had to find another symptom. So this is the first excuse that Tom detected. It was his stomach pain, but it did not work because the stomach pain vanished after some time. So he had to find again the second excuse. Tom further suddenly discovered something. One of his upper front teeth was loose. One tooth of upper part is loose. He felt lucky. He became very hopeful because at last he found a real cause to avoid school. He was about to groan. Groan means cry in pain, cry in pain, cry loudly in pain, when it occurred to him that if all Aunt Polly was to know, she would surely pull it out, and that would hurt. But there was a problem to Tom, because if his aunt Tom Polly, here you can see 3-4 characters in the story. Tom is the main character, the boy, the naughty boy, then Sid, Tom's brother, and Tom and Sid share the same bed, and Aunt Polly is the aunt of Tom, and Mary is Tom's cousin. There are 4 characters also here. The day the story begins on Monday early morning, it is the time of Monday morning. So when he found that his loose tooth, he kept it secret, because if it was known by Aunt Polly, he would come and pull the tooth, and it would hurt him, it would be painful. Tom thought he would hold the tooth in reserve. He will hold it in reserve. He kept it aside. He kept it aside for the present. At that time, he remembered hearing from a doctor that a certain ailment could lay up a patient for 3 days. This is very important. And once a doctor told him, and he remembered it, that at a certain ailment means sickness, could lay up a patient for 3 days. A patient could be in bed rest for 3 days and make him lose a finger. Here LOSE, lose a finger, that means a finger will be amputated. A finger would be amputated. That means one person, if you have 5 fingers, 1 finger would be amputated, that means cut. So there will be 4 fingers. This is loose finger. He eagerly drew his sore toe. Sore means painful toe from under the sheet and held it up for inspection. So now he look at the picture of page 51. This is the sore. He put his one toe from the bed sheet and looked at it. He did not know the necessary symptoms. He did not know what is the necessary symptoms of toe pain. The second excuse, we can see that second excuse, toe pain, but loose tooth is a real cause. It was a real cause for Tom, but Tom did not show it at present now. That was a problem, because Aunt Polly would put the loose tooth out. So he found the toe pain. However, Tom seeked a good chance. It seemed to Tom that it was a good chance. Tom fell groaning, again cried in pain, but his brother Sid slept on. But his brother, who shared the same bed, he was still sleeping on his bed. Tom groaned louder. So to rouse Sid from sleep, Tom here groaned louder. He cried more loudly. He fancied means imagined, that he began to feel pain in toe. And he imagined, he pretended that there was actually a pain in his toe. No response came from Sid, but Sid was still sleeping. That means the groaning of Tom did not rouse Sid. Tom then stared at succession of groans. Started the succession of groans. So succession means repeated. Repetition of groans. Succession means repetition of groans. Look at the word meanings. You must remember these word meanings and note it down. However, Sid snored on. What is the meaning of snored? Snored means made noise with nose while sleeping. While a person is sleeping and is making sound with his nose, it's called snored. Sid snored on. That means Sid was still in his sleep. Tom became excited. Tom became very much excited. He said, Sid, now. Tom called Sid and shook him. Shook him means pushed him. This course worked well. Course means way. Course means here way or action. This is action. Tom cried again and again, louder, but did not rouse Sid. But now, this time, Tom didn't find any other way but to pull Sid. And of course, this course worked well. That means Sid woke up from his sleep. Sid yawned. After sleep, we opened our mouth in drowsiness. That is yawned, and rising himself on his elbow. That means this is called elbow. Rise himself on the, that is, he pressured the bed with his elbow and tried to rise from bed. And stared at Tom. Stared means looks fixedly or gazed at Tom. Tom went on groaning, but Tom still was groaning, pretending that he had a toe pain. Said him, Tom, say Tom. No response. Sid now asked Tom, but Tom did not respond. Here, Tom, what's the matter, Tom? Again, Sid asked, what's the matter? Sid shook him and looked his face anxiously. She became very excited and became very much worried. So Sid shook Tom. Tom moaned out, cried out in pain. Oh, don't, Sid, don't shake me. Don't shake me. Why? What's the matter, Tom? I must call Auntie. So I must call Aunt Polly, Sid said. No, never mind. It will be over by and by. By and by means slowly, gradually. After some time. That means my problem will be recovered after some time. But actually these are all pretension or excuses made by Tom. Don't call anybody. Actually Tom wanted to ask someone, wanted to inform everyone about his pain. But I must, don't groan so, Tom, it's awful. But she said, I must call Auntie. It's because it is very awful, dangerous. How long have you been this way? How long have you been this way? That means for how long time, what period of time you were crying? Hours. Ouch. Oh, don't start so. Start means move or push. So, Sid, you will kill me. Your slight push will kill me. Tom pretended. Hey, Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner? Now Sid told some. Why he had not waked him sooner, that means earlier. Oh Tom, you are not dying, are you? You are not dying, you are not going to die, are you? Don't, you are not dying, I assure you, you would not die. Tom, oh don't, I forgive everybody. Sid, tell them so. Now Tom pretended more that he will forgive everybody, and Sid and told Sid to inform this message of Tom to everyone. This is the dying message. He pretended that actually he was dying. Sid had rushed to call help. Rushed means ran quickly to call help. So now Sid wake up from his bed and rushed to the other member of the family to call them and inform the situation of the severe condition of Tom. Tom's imagination was working perfectly. Tom wanted in that situation that everybody would be busy and everybody would be excited, everybody would be worried about his situation, and this was going so well according to the plan of the Tom. Now his groans had gathered a genuine tone. Genuine means real tone. Now he was pretending. Now at this moment he was acting, but his acting became real. Meanwhile means in the meantime, Sid flew downstairs. Flew downstairs, a person cannot flew, but here Sid rushed downwards stairs. That means rushed from upper story to the lower story with the help of the stairs with a great speed. So flew, this called flew upstairs and said, "Oh, Aunt Polly, come, Tom's dying." She informed Aunt Polly, come, Tom's dying. Aunt Polly asked, dying? Yes, don't wait, come quick. She told her that don't wait, come quick. What's rubbish? Rubbish means nonsense. What are you telling? All this nonsense? I don't believe it. Aunt Polly informed but told Sid. She flew upstairs with Sid and Mary, Tom's cousin. So Aunt Polly, Sid and Mary is written here, Tom's cousin. These three persons flew upwards, came very quickly to the bed of the Tom. Her face grew pale when she saw Paul in the dying condition, in severe condition of painful moment, and he grew pale and her lips trembled. Trembles means shook repeatedly. When a person is in grief, in his great grief, in his great threat, when he cannot he cannot cry, in that moment the lips trembled. That is the condition. That means his Aunt Polly became very much shocked to see the miserable condition of Tom. When she reached the bedside, she gasped out. But when actually reached the bedside beside Tom, he was utterly puzzled or surprised. Tom, what's the matter with you? Oh, auntie, I am. That Tom did not complete his sentence. I am. That means he cannot say anything more. What is the matter with you, child? Aunt Polly asked. Oh, aunt, my toe is paining. My toe is paining. There is pain, severe pain in my toe. The old lady sank into a chair. Sank into means sat in a chair, or she laughed a little. Now, Aunt Polly realized or discovered the real thing. That means Aunt Polly realized that Tom was giving some excuse, or Tom was acting as a ill person. So then cried a little. Then she cried a little also. Then she said, Tom, what a shock you did give me. Now he got the trick of Tom and said, it was a great shock. Now shut up the nonsense and get out of this. Stop this nonsense, rubbish things, acting, and get up. Yes, the groan ceased. Ceased means stopped. The groan ceased. The crying in pain stopped. Tom's toe pain vanished. At that time, the toe pain vanished. Tom felt a little foolish and said, Tom became very fool one, and he became foolish and said, Aunt Polly, how my tooth aches. Aches means pains. Aches means pains. Why my tooth pains. The pain is more than that in my toe, and the pain is more severe. It's more severe than the pain in my toe. So your tooth, indeed means really. What's the matter with your tooth? So what happens to your tooth? One of them is loose. One of them is not fit well. It is moving here, there, around it. So, and it aches awfully. Aches means pains awfully. There. Now don't begin that groaning again. There, stop. You're groaning, crying. You stop your groaning again. Open your mouth. So, let me see. Aunt Polly said, let me see. Open your mouth. Your tooth is loose. And he surveyed the matter, and she found that really one of the Tom's upper teeth was loose, but you are not going to die for that. And Aunt Polly informed that if it was your one tooth that was loose, but for this reason it is not possible for a person to die, who is dying, or that means you are not going to die. That is not a very serious matter. Loose tooth is not a serious matter. Mary, get me a silk thread. Now, Aunt Polly asked Mary to bring or fetch a silk thread. Thread means cord. Tom said, oh please auntie, don't pull it out. And Tom understood that Aunt Polly would pull the loose tooth out. It doesn't hurt anymore. Now Tom requested Mary, don't pull the tooth, because his pain was vanished at that time. Please auntie, I don't want to stay home from school. Now Tom realized that it was not a fast trick to avoid school. Every morning Tom produces some tricks or excuses. So it was easy for Aunt Polly to realize or to understand the tricks of Tom. So now Tom said, hey, I don't want to stay home from school. Now Tom himself confessed that he did not want to stay home from school. That means he would go to school that day. So all this was because he wanted to stay home from school and go fishing. That means all these naughtiness were done by you, created by you to stay, bunk school, to avoid school, and to go fishing. Tom, I love you so much, and you try to break my heart. Now, with more affection, with more love, admiration, Aunt Wally told Tom that she loved Tom very much, but Tom again and again hurt or break her heart, or hurt her or shocked her in every way with your naughtiness. Naughtiness means childishness. By this time, the dental instrument was ready. Dental means relating to teeth. The dental instrument was ready. The old lady, now all the things that were necessary to pull the tooth were ready. Now the old lady, that means Aunt Wally, fastened means tied one end of the silk thread to Tom's teeth. One end of the thread or cord, silk cord, on the around the Tom's loose tooth, and the other end to the bedpost. You must have seen the bedpost. That the bed, the fourth side of the bed, there was a post to hang mosquito net. So one end on the bedpost and one on the Tom's loose teeth. She pulled the tooth, and she pulled the tooth. She pulled and the tooth hung. She pulled the thread, and the loose tooth came out from his gum and hung dangling. Dangling means hanging. That is called dangling. If I take a pen, this is called dangling. After pulling out from the gum, the tooth is dangling, tied on the silk thread by the bedpost, beside the bedpost. By means beside the bedpost. Tom now had a gap in his upper row. So there is a gap in the upper row of his teeth. This enabled means made him smile. Now when Tom smiled in that particular moment after losing the front tooth in a new and admirable way, it became very odd and queer smile, and it becomes a praiseworthy smile also. So it is the story of Tom's naughtiness. Actually here the Tom is a boy who finding excuses to bunk school. So here is the details of the story. Thank you for watching my video.